I used to tell myself that I was a great multitasker. And I realized that that was a lie because your energy, your attention cannot be divided on 5 different things. So now I made sure that things do not overlap on my calendar. I made sure that I am present in whatever moment I am in. Why? Because I have systems, because I have boundaries in place. Welcome to the Vet Rise podcast. I'm your host, Juan Perez. My goal is to make success after service accessible to every veteran in society. I believe in the power of leveraging your service, not as a label that defines you, but as a launching pad for your next chapter. What we have been doing has not been working, and it's on us to start changing the culture. Enjoy the episode, and thank you for your time. Whether you're a veteran or not, whether you were in the Army, the Navy, whether you're in or out, or whether you run your own business, this applies. This applies because we have been taught and raised and have been in cultures that tell us that what it means to get ahead in life is to be the busiest that you can be. Because for the longest, we have been sold this idea of that to be productive, to get ahead in life, we have to be doing more. And that when we rest, people look at us and they judge us as if we are not doing enough. And this applies directly for me today. This applies directly for me today because today I had to take a step back. I had to pause. I had to cancel a team meeting that we had this morning because I woke up with heavy congestion. And it doesn't mean that I completely let my day go. It means I asked myself, what is the thing that's going to help me get ahead for this day effectively? It doesn't mean that I lay in bed all day. It doesn't mean that I tell myself that I'm failing. It doesn't mean that it was a bad day. It was not a bad day. So what it means is that today was just a day of adjustment. Today was just a day where I had to do stuff a little bit differently. When I first got out of the Marines, I had this idea that in order for me to get ahead in life, I had to do more than everybody else. I had to be the first one there. I had to be the last one to leave. I had to be the one that had the answer. I had to be the one that found out the answer. And I thought the answer to everything was just to work harder. If life felt weird, if people didn't understand me, I had to work harder. If I was depressed, if I was in a low place, I had to work harder. If I felt like I was falling apart inside, I had to work harder. And nobody told me that working harder actually could become kind of its own prison, because now you put yourself in this idea of the only solution to my problems is to work harder. Nobody told me that grinding without a purpose, without knowing what you are working towards, is just another way to slowly wither away and feel like you are not actually making progress, but you have given away all your time to stuff that isn't even important to you anymore. So this is the lie that we've all been sold. Society, it sells us this idea, this fantasy, that the person that grinds the hardest wins. The person who sleeps less, sacrifices more, pushes through more, wins. But here's what they don't tell you. When you do this, when you just get busy, when you think that you have to fill your entire day with stuff without direction, you're not building a life for yourself. You are burying it. True clarity in what you want to do in life means slowing down and asking yourself, is this something that still aligns with what I'm trying to build in my life? Is this something that I actually want to do? Is this something that I'm just doing because maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago, it gave me purpose and value, but now it doesn't? And I was burying myself, and I learned this the hard way. I would work every overtime shift as a cop. I would volunteer for everything that was out there. I never said no. I never stopped. I never checked to see if it even mattered. I wasn't building anything. I was just numbing myself with busyness. And nowadays, this still pops up here and there. But it's a different type of battle because I have to understand that now my time is mine. And I don't want to numb myself. I want to feel alive. When you numb yourself, when you just work to work to work, burnout happens. And burnout can be emotional. It can be physical. And burnout doesn't necessarily tell you that it's there. It will sneak in slowly. It doesn't wave a red flag and tell you, hey, you're experiencing burnout. It shows up when you can't remember the last time that you actually enjoyed something in life. It shows up the last time that you can't remember. When was the last time that you took out time, a break for yourself? When you feel like you still have to do stuff at 2 a.m. because you didn't get it done. A lot of it is cultural too. Especially if we were raised in a household where our father or our mother worked all the time to get us the life that we wanted because that's what it meant to them. They came from a different life. It's not that it was wrong. It's just that that's what they knew. It's the life that they were created in. It's the life that they were raised in. That's how they were brought up in this world. And it passes down to us, whether we know it or not. So we feel like we always have to be busy. And if we are not busy, we are failing. But I'm telling you right now, every single time that I get to slow down, every single time that I get to put stuff into my schedule for me, for my kids, it's for my future. And I do this because if I just keep working endlessly, you will always find something to fill that time. Now, whether you're building a business or you're trying to make sure that from the morning that you wake up to the nighttime that you go to bed, you are busy, you're not stopping and asking yourself, is this something that I want to do? Because if it's been a week or if it's been 2 weeks and you look back and you've missed some of the stuff that you actually want to do, your workouts, your morning routines, your self-care, time with your kids, time with your partner, time with your loved ones. You're not actually using your time effectively. You're just using it efficiently. And efficiently means that it is busy all the time, but effectively means that you are stopping and asking yourself, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I need to do? And dopamine is a hell of a drug. Dopamine comes from drinking and staying up late at night, but it also comes from working out and waking up in the morning early and going for a walk. Dopamine comes from you saying yes to your friends because they need you to help them move for the weekend. But it also comes from you saying no and establishing boundaries because you already have plans to do something for yourself that weekend. And it doesn't make you a bad friend. Dopamine comes in a lot of ways. And sometimes we saw our parents over and over again work overtime, buying us nice stuff, making sure that we had the nice house, making sure that we got into the nice school, because that was their way of showing us love. They grew up in a different time. And some of the stuff that we picked up without even knowing it was the fact that now we think we have to always be doing something to get ahead in life. However, we know better. We know better because we have more information. We know better because we've done the opposite at times. We know better because we understand that doing stuff for yourself is healing. Learning how to use your time effectively. Learning that you could probably get all of that work done in 2 to 3 hours instead of stretching it for 4 to 5 hours just because you want to stay busy. And then you have time for yourself, for your kids, is better than you thinking that you have to be just grinding all the time. But if we don't actually show better and we just know better, our kids will learn this from us. We will surround ourselves with people who are like-minded, who just want to continuously be doing and doing and doing. But if you're doing and doing and doing, and then you look back and you realize, I didn't do my workouts this week. I wasn't able to meal prep. I stayed up till 3 in the morning again. I didn't take time to actually go for a walk today. I didn't do my check-in. I didn't take time to journal. I didn't take time to read the book that I said I was going to read. I didn't take time and go out and have an adventure by myself this week that I said I wanted to do. You have to understand that none of those things will happen unless you decide what you're going to sacrifice in place. Now, you know how I feel about the word sacrifice. Sacrifice in my mind is just a choice, because the outcome can still be just as good. Sacrifice means you deciding what you are going to give up in order to get the thing that you want. It means understanding that instead of listening to music while you are at the gym, you're going to listen to JP run his mouth and still get your workout done, Brad. It means that you're deciding that you're still going to show up to the coaching call instead of you not being able to and doing something else with your day, even if you're driving. Sacrifice means choosing that you're not going to stay up watching the TV show and instead you're going to do a wind down routine, do all the stuff that you have to do, pack your gym bag for the morning, and actually feel good about it. Sacrifice means having a hard conversation with someone in your life that you need to tell them, hey, we have to work on some boundaries. I have to do this and I need your support, or how can I support you? Sacrifice means deciding that you're not going to stay up late drinking with your boys just because they want to invite you out. But the thing that you get in return is so much better. The thing that you get in return is a life of clarity, a life of meaning. The thing that you get in return is you deciding which direction your life wants to head. It feels good to do the things that you're doing. It felt great then, but you have to start looking at things differently. You have to understand that if you want your life to change, if you want to make sure that you lose the weight that you want to lose, if you want to look in the mirror and be confident of who you are, it comes from you making the decision of what are you going to give up to get there? What are you willing to give up? And it might be something that you don't even realize. One of those things actually might be control. And I'm willing to give up control to get the life that I want, because this morning I could have easily pushed through and grinded to do the meeting that I had to do with my team. But I have trust in my team. I've let go of control of my team. I've built this company on the foundation of passion and compassion. And I know that they understand. I know that I've guided them enough, and I know that I've instilled in them enough to know what is it that we have to do. Sacrifice doesn't just mean you deciding that I need to give something up that I want to do. It means you deciding how you want to run your life and operate. It means you deciding that if you need to make sure that you set yourself up for success by bringing the right people into your world and removing some people from your life, that is part of the work. It means you looking around your environment and deciding that having a TV in your bedroom is not a smart idea. That's a sacrifice. Sacrifice means taking the time when you make dinner to teach your kids how to make dinner with you so that eventually they can make their own dinner. And the sacrifice happens when you feel a little bit of frustration when they don't know how to do something and you have to teach them. You have to take the time to do it. Sacrifice comes from you understanding that just because things don't go the way that you want them to doesn't mean that you can't correct the behaviors, change the patterns. It's not just about marking stuff off on a list. It's not just about being so busy all the time that you feel like you're getting ahead, because before you know it, you are sacrificing yourself. Every time that you try and cross something off of a list, every problem that you solve, it hits you with a little reward. And you're addicted to that dopamine. It feels good for a second, but it's empty. Because dopamine rewards the chase, but not the result. Pay attention to the results. You're not building momentum. You are building dependency on dopamine. That's why you feel restless even after a good day. That's why we finish everything that we do and we look at finding and trying to find something else to do. You're stuck trying to find that next fight to fight because silence terrifies you. Start enjoying it. There's a difference between being busy and being effective, and it took me years to see it as well. Busy feels good. You're moving, you're checking stuff off, you're tired, but you're doing stuff. When you actually look back, nothing has changed. And in fact, things have probably gotten worse, but you feel like you do well in chaos. You tell yourself, I work really well under pressure. And it's just not true. You would work better if you start to take stuff off of your plate that you don't need. You would work better if you took the time to train people in your team to do the stuff that you keep doing that you know you don't have to do anymore. You would work better if you had the conversation with someone and told them that I can't do this anymore. You would work better if you taught your kids how to do the things that they can do at this age. And it's hard. Now, what does effective mean? Effective doesn't always feel good. It feels slow sometimes. It can even feel boring. Effective means doing the meal prep when you don't want to. Effective means going to bed on time. Effective means turning off all the lights in the house to make sure that you can wind down properly. Effective means saying no to people when all they want to do is go out with you. It feels boring at times. It feels uncomfortable because you're doing the shit over and over again. So when I stopped trying to chase the busy and I've worked on chasing results, everything has shifted for me. I don't just answer emails at any point in the day. I don't answer messages at any point in the day. I build systems so I answer them and I reply to them when I tell myself I'm going to. I don't try to find more hours in my day to work. I build systems to make sure that everything gets taken care of. When you work effectively, you start stacking wins that actually mean something. It's not the fake, busy dopamine. It is real life momentum. And here's something else I want you guys to understand. It's not about telling yourself that you love yourself. You have to actually show yourself that you love yourself. And to me, showing myself that I love myself is going to bed when I say I'm going to go to bed. Showing myself that I love myself is truly believing in myself and then following through with what I said I was going to do. Emotions happen. We respond or we react. When your emotions run high because of an argument you had, or because something is stressful, or because your finances are not in line, you have to stop and ask yourself, what did I do to get here? Am I not paying attention to my numbers? Am I not actually budgeting throughout the month? Am I continuously allowing someone into my life that I no longer want to have in my life? Do I keep answering this phone call when in reality, it just needs to go to voicemail? All right, let's stop for a minute. This is the part of the episode where I ask you to do me a favor. But it's not a favor for me. It's a favor for your fellow brothers and sisters that served with you. If you know someone that has been struggling, if you know someone that has been going through it right now, and you know that they want better for their life, they just don't know how to do it, please share this episode with them. It might just be exactly what they need. That's it. That's my only ask. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Back to the episode. Am I staying up late because I don't take care of myself throughout the day? So therefore, I'm chasing dopamine late at night. Going to bed early even when nobody is making you. Eating clean food even when it's easier to grab fast food. Saying no to things that drain your energy even if they pay you in time and effort, and feeling joy. These things are the things that actually matter. When you block out time for yourself, when you actually do things for yourself, when you journal, when you read, these are the things that matter. Like, they matter so much more than anything else. Because if you're just trying to fit everything into your schedule, if you're saying yes to everything, but then you look back and you realize that you were too tired to play with your daughter, you were too tired to actually go to the gym, you were too tired, it's because you haven't followed through with what you said you were going to do. That is how we lose confidence. Confidence doesn't go away overnight. It goes away when you have your weekend reflection and you look back and you realize that you didn't follow through with what you said you were going to do. Confidence goes away when you look back and you realize that you still have that person in your life that you said was not a benefit to you anymore, but you're still allowing it to happen. Confidence goes away when you don't actually follow through with what you said you were going to do. Now, how do you think we build confidence? It's the flip side of that. Confidence doesn't just come from yelling positive affirmations in the mirror. Confidence comes from having a stack of undeniable evidence behind you that says that you did what you were going to do. It comes from waking up one day and feeling sick and deciding, what can I still do today even though I'm not feeling great? Confidence comes from deciding that you are going to put your workouts on your calendar, follow through with them, do the workouts, and realize that when you leave the gym, you feel better than when you got there. Confidence comes from you telling yourself that I'm going to clean my room this weekend and I'm going to make sure that I do this or that and make time for myself. And then you actually do it and you realize that you feel better after. Now, you can listen to this. It can make you feel good. You can tell yourself, this is what I need. This is what I want. But then we don't do anything. Because this is dopamine right now. This is a hit of dopamine. This is me telling you that you should feel happy with where you are at because you know what you want from life and you have to do something about it. But this is a hit of dopamine. It's about what you do with it moving forward. It's about what you take away from this and about what you change. Because every time that you point your finger at someone or something in your life that they are the reason why you are unhappy, you're giving away your power. You are pointing at someone or something that is controlling you. It is all on you. Everything. And you might tell me, well, coach, that's just not true. I have this job that I don't like, or I have a situation that I am in, this or that. At some point in your life, you made a decision that got you there. And now you might tell me it's not my fault. This was out of my control. Maybe that's true, but it's your responsibility to change it. Whatever situation you find yourself in that you want to change it. Promise you it is doable. There's a plan for everything. If you want to get that certification, all it takes is all you got. Become confident by actually doing the work. If you want to get a certification and you have not been scheduling time to study, you're not going to magically study one day. If you want to lose the 10 to 15 pounds, but you're not getting your 10,000 steps and you do not track your water or your workouts or your meals, you're not going to get there. If you say that you want to start showing up for yourself more and speaking up for yourself, but every time that someone asks you for something, you don't check your calendar first and you just give your time away, it'll be the same thing over and over again. I don't believe that there's such a thing as societal obligations. I believe that there's societal consequences. So societal obligation is that someone invites you out to something and you feel like you have a societal obligation to say yes. I don't think that's true. I think that what happens is you make a decision of whether or not you actually want to do it. And then the societal consequence will be that they no longer invite you out. And that is okay. You are opening up their world to find someone else that might fit into their life a little bit more. Dating the girl that you don't want to date doesn't benefit anyone. You are stringing her along for no reason. Doing the job that you don't want to do when deep down inside you have an idea of what you really want to do, it doesn't benefit you. You are putting off something that supposedly is important to you. Telling yourself that when life gets easier, that's when you can really get serious about this is also a lie. Because life will never get easier with time. It takes time and effort and action. So ask yourself, what is it right now that I am continuously doing that I don't even want to do? What is the bad habit that I have told myself in my mind is a benefit that in reality is hurting you? I used to tell myself that I was a great multitasker. I used to tell myself I can do 5 things at once. And I realized that that was a lie because your energy, your attention cannot be divided on 5 different things. So now I made sure that things do not overlap on my calendar. I made sure that I am present in whatever moment I am in. Why? Because I have systems. I don't have to think about what time am I picking up my kids. I know what time I'm picking them up. I don't have to think about what am I having for lunch. It's been decided. It's already ready. I don't have to think about what am I doing for dinner. It's been taken care of because I have boundaries in place. I went to a wedding 2 weekends ago. I took my kids to my parents' house. I dropped them off at 5 p.m. I went to the wedding. I was there from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 8:30. I left the wedding. I drove home. I picked up my kids. We got in bed. We were in bed by 10 p.m. I was still able to participate in the wedding. It was beautiful, wonderful. But I don't have to get blackout drunk and leave my kids in my parents' house. I don't have to. I don't want to. Societal consequences are real. I don't think societal obligations are real. Things will continue to happen with or without you. But if you keep saying yes to everything and if you keep continuously feeling like if you're busy, you are getting ahead in life, it's a lie. You have to be willing to slow down, look at your calendar, set boundaries, respect yourself, and make sure that you put everything on your life if that you actually want to do, because it's not going to happen magically. And some of you had your very best check-ins this last weekend. Some of you had check-ins that I was so freaking impressed with. But the magic just doesn't come from the body. It comes from, are you able to set boundaries? Are you able to make sure that you schedule that conversation with your wife every day so you actually have a check-in with her? Are you able to actually be intentionally with your kids during this weekend to make sure that you get everything done and that when you are with your kids, you are present? Did you follow through with what you said you were going to do? And only you know the answer to that, not me. I can hold you accountable all day, but only you are with yourself 24/7. Only you know the real answer to that. You can either feel pride or you can feel shame. And I believe that shame only exists in the shadows because when you bring it to the light, you can do something about it. When you don't identify what is causing that feeling of shame, you can't do anything about it. If you push it away, if you pretend that it doesn't exist, if you ignore it, if you blame something or someone of why you feel how you feel, you can't do anything about it. But if you bring it to the light and you are honest with yourself and you look back and you tell yourself, I didn't do this because I didn't actually prioritize it and I didn't put it on my calendar. Or I didn't follow through with my steps because instead I sat on the couch with my husband or my girlfriend because I thought that that's what I had to do. You'd be surprised at what types of shifts you can make in the life of others. You'd be surprised at how much people would be willing to go on a walk with you. You'd be surprised at what it feels to go out into the world and get some fresh air and do some grocery shopping on your own. When you start to put yourself around better people, when you start to really ask yourself, what kind of life do I want for myself? That's when the world opens up for you. Let the world open up for you. Change the dynamic of your life. Be willing to set those boundaries. Be willing to learn what it means to work effectively. Be willing to put stuff on your calendar and respect it. Because when you look back on your calendar and you realize that you are burnt out because you didn't properly schedule stuff, when you look back on your calendar and you realize that everyone and everything gets more attention in your life than you are the only one that can change that. Nobody else can. Nobody else can read your mind. And when you give and you give and you give and you have established this baseline of, oh, well, Brad, he's the go-to guy. Everyone can go to Brad. People will continue to go to Brad. Become the person that can teach other people to do for themselves. When you're the go-to guy for everything, it feels good. It's a dopamine hit. When you're the person in the family that everybody goes to because, oh, well, she'll handle it. It's not going to change. You've enabled people to be willing to go to you because you're the problem solver. And again, it feels good until it doesn't. You are not loving yourself by giving and giving and giving. You are abandoning yourself. And sometimes it feels so uncomfortable to sit in that silence and ask yourself, is this the life that I want for myself? Because when you are on the move all the time, when you are busy from morning to night and you're not stopping, you can tell yourself, oh, today was a busy day. Oh, I got so much done. What about you? Did you do what you said you were going to do? Because if not, on Thursday, your week will come crashing down and you look back and you're like, oh, it's just been a hard week for me. Choose the hard. We've all heard this one before. You choose your hard. And telling someone that, no, I can't make it to this event without a reason is hard. But telling yourself that, no, you can't actually do all your workouts this week, and this week you're actually not going to be able to do what you said you were going to do, and this week you don't have time for your kids is even harder. Because that type of hard compounds even more and more and more, because the things that are at stake are so much more important than one or two person's feelings in your life. We look back on our life and we realize that we have been just busy and busy and busy. I want you to be able to look forward in life and realize that you can decide what you do with your time. And you guys know how I feel about the calendar. It is a tool. And I want all of you to understand that when you do not follow your calendar, when you turn off all your notifications, it's because you don't have good boundaries with yourself. It's because there's too many notifications on your phone and it overwhelms you. It's because you don't realize that having that paper calendar, but then leaving it at home is not useful. Because you don't realize that having an actual calendar on your phone, and when the notification pops up, that it means something. It is your check-in with yourself of what you are going to do is so much more important than you trying to just fill your life with stuff. And don't get me wrong, there has to be adjustments, absolutely. But they have to be intentional. They have to be intentional. And I made intentional adjustments today. And I don't feel bad about it at all. Why? Because I could have easily just pushed through. I'm sick, but I'm going to show up anyway. I could have done all the stuff that I said I was going to do today. But at the end of the day, because I have boundaries, because I actually love myself and I show myself that, I did the things that benefit me. I did the cold shower. I still got some work done. I went for a walk. I got some fresh air. I still ate the food that I wanted to eat, the healthy foods. I still hopped in my own sauna here for 30 minutes. And because of that, I feel a lot better. Not just physically, but emotionally. I don't feel drained. I don't feel like I lost my day. But it was intentional. It was by choice. So you have to ask yourself, what am I actually building? Am I proud of the hard work, or am I just doing it to feel busy because then I can ignore the actual problems that I have in my life? Because if you are grinding and you are just burning out, if you are grinding and you are just feeling better, if you are grinding yourself down and down and down, before you know it, you are going to be worse off than you were before. That is not ambition. That is you continuously self-sabotaging. And society will cheer you on the whole way, telling you that you're killing it, telling you that you're inspirational. But when you crash, when you fall apart, when you have nothing left to give, they won't be there. You will be the one picking up the pieces alone. That's why you have to question everything you've been taught about grinding. That's why you have to question everything that your parents taught you. You're not here to just be busy. You are here to build a life that actually means something to you. I'll leave you with this. Some of the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. Effective work beats busy work every time. Dopamine is a trap. Don't chase the high. Don't chase the feelings. Chase real growth and real change. The self-love that you do for yourself sometimes can be boring. It can be repetitive. It is unsexy work, and nobody claps for it, but it saves your life. Hard work matters, but only when it's aimed at something worth doing in the moment. Be intentional. Work your ass off, but work your ass off the right way, when you have agreed to it because of you understanding the time that you have. Or you're going to wake up one day and realize that you traded your whole life for a feeling that doesn't last. You don't win by grinding yourself into the ground. You win by building a life that you don't have to recover from. That is the mission. Thank you for your time. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Vet Rise podcast. If today's episode inspired you, made you think, or simply gave you hope, I have a small favor to ask. Share it with just one veteran or someone you think could benefit from my message. Your share could light a spark for them. You don't know who you might save. For more insights and to join our mission, follow my socials at JP, the Veteran Coach, and explore how we can rise together. Thank you for joining us, for being part of this journey, and for believing in the power of rising together. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep rising, and never forget that we are stronger together. My name is Juan Perez, and thank you for your time.